Forget ChatGPT prompts. These 3 strategies will actually grow your business. I know that sounds bold, especially when everyone is telling you that AI is all about writing better emails or creating social media content. But here's the truth. While most entrepreneurs are using AI like an expensive typewriter, there's a small group of business owners who are using artificial intelligence in ways that are fundamentally transforming how they operate, how they sell, and how fast they grow. These aren't the strategies you'll find in the typical AI for business articles. They're not the obvious tactics that everyone's already doing. These are the advanced, revenue-generating AI applications that most entrepreneurs don't even know exist, but the ones who do are quietly building. Massive competitive advantages while their competitors are still debating which ChatGPT prompt works best. Over the past 2 years, I've worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs to implement AI strategies that go far beyond content creation. I've seen businesses double their conversion rates, cut their customer acquisition costs in half, and automate complex sales processes that used to require entire teams. Today, I'm going to share 3 specific AI strategies that are so powerful. They'll completely change how you think about what's possible with artificial intelligence in your business. These aren't theoretical concepts. They're proven systems that are already working for smart entrepreneurs who understand that AI's real value isn't in replacing human creativity, but in amplifying human intelligence. If you're ready to stop playing with AI toys and start using AI as a genuine growth engine for your business, then what I'm about to show you will be game-changing. But first, let me address the elephant in the room. Right now, 90% of entrepreneurs are using AI for exactly the same thing: creating content, blog posts, social media captions, email newsletters, ad copy. It's all about generating words faster than they could write them manually. And look, I get it. Content creation was the obvious first use case for AI because it's immediate, it's visible, and it feels productive. You can ask ChatGPT to write something, get an instant result, maybe edit it a bit, and feel like you've accomplished something meaningful with the eye. But here's the problem with this approach. Everyone is doing it. Your content doesn't stand out anymore because it's increasingly similar to everyone else's AI-generated content. Your competitive advantage disappears because your competitors have access to the exact same tools and prompts that you do. Even more importantly, content creation is fundamentally a cost center activity. It might save you time, but it's not directly generating revenue. You're using AI to become more efficient at activities that don't immediately impact your bottom line. The entrepreneurs who are seeing explosive growth from AI aren't just using it to create more content, they're using it to create more customers, more sales, and more profit. They're applying artificial intelligence to the core revenue-generating activities of their business. Understanding their customers, optimizing their sales processes, and personalizing their marketing at scale. This is where the real opportunity lies, and this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. Strategy number 1. AI-powered customer segmentation through predictive analytics. The first strategy that's transforming how smart entrepreneurs operate is AI-powered customer segmentation using predictive analytics. Now, I know that sounds technical, but stay with me because this is actually much simpler to implement than you might think. Now, the results are absolutely revolutionary. Here's what most businesses do for customer segmentation. They look at basic demographic information like age, location, or industry. Maybe they segment by purchase history or engagement level. And they create a few broad categories that they use for their marketing campaigns. This approach worked fine 10 years ago, but it's incredibly primitive compared to what's possible with AI today. Modern predictive analytics can identify patterns in customer behavior that are completely invisible to human analysis, and it can predict future customer actions with remarkable accuracy. Let me give you a real example. I worked with an online course creator who was struggling to figure out which of her leads were actually likely to purchase her HyperPersonalization program. She had thousands of people on her email list, but only a small percentage ever bought anything, and she couldn't identify what separated buyers from browsers. Using AI predictive analytics, we analyzed over 200 different data points for each person on her list: how they found her website, which pages they visited, how long they spent on each page, which emails they opened, which links they clicked, what time of day they were most active, what device they used, and dozens of other behavioral indicators. The AI identified patterns that were completely non-obvious. For example, People who visited her About page within their first 3 website sessions were 340% more likely to eventually purchase. People who clicked on links in her emails between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. were 180% more likely to buy than people who clicked at other times. People who watched more than 60% of her free training videos but then didn't immediately sign up for a discovery call were actually the highest value prospects, not the lowest. Armed with these insights, she completely restructured her marketing approach. Instead of sending the same emails to everyone, she created different campaigns for different predicted customer segments. Instead of trying to convert everyone equally, she focused her time and energy on the prospects that the AI identified as most likely to buy. The results were staggering. Within 90 days, her conversion rate from email subscriber to customer increased by 220%. Her customer acquisition cost dropped by 40%, because she was focusing her ad spend on attracting the types of people most likely to purchase. And perhaps most importantly, her stress level decreased dramatically, because she wasn't wasting time trying to convert people who were never going to buy anyway. This is the power of AI-driven customer segmentation. You're not just grouping people by obvious characteristics you're using machine learning to identify the subtle patterns that predict customer behavior, and then you're optimizing your entire business strategy around those insights. The tools to do this are more accessible than ever. Platforms like Google Analytics Intelligence, Facebook's lookalike audiences, and specialized tools like Klaviyo and HubSpot now have built-in predictive analytics features that can perform this kind of analysis automatically. But here's the key. You need to be collecting the right data in the first place. This strategy only works if you're tracking meaningful interactions with your prospects and customers. The more data points you can feed into the AI, the more accurate and actionable the insights become. Strategy number 2. Advanced workflow automation with AI-powered Zapier integrations. The second strategy that's giving entrepreneurs massive competitive advantages is advanced workflow automation using AI-powered integrations, particularly through platforms like Zapier combined with AI tools. Now, most people think of automation as simple if-then scenarios. If someone fills out a form, then add them to an email list. If someone makes a purchase, then send them a receipt. These basic automations are useful, but they're not intelligent. They can only follow predetermined rules. AI-powered workflow automation is completely different. Instead of just following rules, it can make decisions, analyze context, and take different actions based on sophisticated criteria that would be impossible to program manually. Here's how this works in practice. I helped a consulting firm implement an AI-powered lead qualification system that revolutionized their sales process. Previously, when someone filled out their contact form, a human sales representative had to manually review the submission, research the company, determine if it was a good fit, and decide how to respond. This process was time-consuming, inconsistent, and expensive. Different sales reps had different criteria for what constituted a qualified lead. Some prospects waited days for a response while reps were researching their background. And the firm was spending thousands of dollars each month on sales rep time that was devoted to administrative tasks rather than actual selling. Using AI-powered Zapier integrations, we completely automated this process. When someone fills out their contact form, here's what happens automatically. First, the AI analyzes the form submission and extracts key information about the prospect's business, industry, and stated needs. Then it searches multiple databases to gather additional information about the company: revenue size, number of employees, recent funding or growth indicators, and competitive landscape. Next, the AI scores the lead based on sophisticated criteria that we trained it to recognize: company size, industry fit, budget indicators, decision-making timeline, and dozens of other factors. Based on this score, it automatically routes the lead to the appropriate sales rep and creates a customized response strategy. For high-value prospects, it immediately schedules a calendar appointment and sends a personalized email with relevant case studies and pricing information. For medium-value prospects, it adds them to a nurture sequence with industry-specific content. For low-value prospects, it sends them to an automated educational sequence rather than consuming expensive sales rep time. The entire process happens within minutes of the form submission, and the prospect receives a response that feels completely personalized, even though it's entirely automated. The results were transformative. Their lead response time went from an average of 18 hours to under 5 minutes. Their lead qualification accuracy improved by 85% because the AI was more consistent than human judgment. Their sales reps were able to focus exclusively on high-value prospects, which increased their closing rate by 150%. Most importantly, their cost per acquisition dropped by 60% because they eliminated the human labor costs associated with lead processing while dramatically improving the quality of their sales pipeline. This kind of intelligent automation is possible in virtually every business, but it requires thinking beyond simple triggers and actions. You need to identify the complex decision-making processes in your business that currently require human judgment, and then train AI systems to make those decisions automatically. The key is starting with your most repetitive, time-consuming processes that follow predictable patterns. Customer onboarding, lead qualification, content curation, inventory management, customer support routing, these are all prime candidates for AI-powered automation. Strategy number 3. Micro-personalization in sales funnels using AI. The third strategy that's creating massive competitive advantages is AI-driven micro-personalization in sales funnels. This goes far beyond the basic personalization that most businesses are doing, like adding someone's first name to an email. Micro-personalization means creating unique experiences for each individual prospect based on their specific behavior, preferences, and predicted needs. It's like having a world-class salesperson who remembers every interaction, understands exactly what each prospect cares about, and adapts their approach accordingly, except it works automatically at scale. Let me show you how powerful this can be with a real example. I worked with an e-commerce entrepreneur who was selling premium fitness equipment. His traditional approach was pretty standard. Drive traffic to his website, show everyone the same product pages, send everyone through the same sales funnel, and hope for the best. His conversion rate was descent about 2.5%, but he knew there was massive untapped potential. Different customers had different motivations, different concerns, different decision-making processes, but he was treating everyone exactly the same. Using AI micro-personalization, we transformed his entire sales process. The system tracks dozens of behavioral signals for each visitor: which products they look at, how much time they spend on each page, what questions they ask the chatbot, what videos they watch, how they navigate through the site, and many other indicators. Based on these signals, the AI creates a unique psychological profile for each prospect and adapts the sales experience accordingly. For prospects who spend a lot of time reading technical specifications and comparing features, AI emphasizes the engineering quality and performance metrics of the equipment. For prospects who focus on testimonials and before and after photos, the AI highlights social proof and transformation stories. For price-sensitive prospects, the AI emphasizes value and payment plan options. But it goes much deeper than just changing the messaging. The AI actually restructures the entire sales funnel for each individual prospect. Someone who shows buying intent signals like viewing multiple products, spending significant time on the site, or asking specific questions gets fast-tracked to special offers and direct sales conversations. Someone who seems to be in the early research phase gets educational content and social proof. Someone who shows price sensitivity gets value-focused messaging and limited-time discounts. The personalization extends to email sequences, remarketing ads, customer support interactions, and even the layout and content of the website itself. Each prospect feels like the entire experience was designed specifically for them, because in many ways, it actually was. The results were extraordinary. In 6 months, his overall conversion rate increased from 2.5% to 7.8%. But even more impressive was what happened to customer lifetime value. Because prospects were being matched with products and messaging that truly resonated with their needs, they were more satisfied with their purchases and became repeat customers at much higher rates. His customer lifetime value increased by 190%, and his return on advertising spend improved by 240%. He went from struggling to scale profitably to having one of the most efficient acquisition and retention systems in his industry. This level of personalization is only possible with AI, because it requires analyzing thousands of data points in real time and making complex decisions about how to adapt the experience for each individual visitor. No human sales team could deliver this level of customization at scale. The tools to implement micro-personalization are becoming increasingly accessible. Platforms like Dynamic Yield, Optimizely, and even advanced features in tools like HubSpot and Klaviyo now offer AI-powered personalization capabilities that can be implemented without requiring a technical background. But the key to success is understanding that micro-personalization isn't just about technology. You need to understand the different motivations, concerns, and decision-making processes of your prospects. And then train the AI to recognize the signals that indicate which psychological profile each visitor matches. Now, before we talk about how to implement these strategies, I want to address the mindset shift that's required to succeed with advanced AI applications. Most entrepreneurs approach AI with a tool-focused mentality. They want to know which software to buy or which features to use. Here's what I want you to understand about implementing these strategies. They're not as technically complex as they might sound, but they do require a more sophisticated approach than most entrepreneurs are taking with AI. You can't just sign up for a tool and expect immediate results. You need to invest time in understanding your business processes, identifying the right data to collect, and training the AI systems to recognize the patterns that matter for your specific situation. But here's the exciting part. Once you get these systems working, they compound over time. The AI gets smarter as it processes more data. Your customer insights become more accurate. Your automation becomes more sophisticated. Your personalization becomes more effective. While your competitors are still manually managing the same processes they were using 5 years ago, you'll have intelligent systems that are continuously learning and improving. While they're treating every prospect the same way, you'll be delivering personalized experiences that feel almost magical to your customers. This isn't about replacing the human elements of your business. It's about freeing yourself from repetitive tasks so you can focus on the strategic, creative, and relationship-building activities that only humans can do well. But the entrepreneurs who are seeing transformational results approach AI with a strategy-focused mentality. They start by identifying the highest leverage opportunities in their business, the areas where small improvements could create massive impact. Then they figure out how AI can amplify their efforts in those areas. This is why most entrepreneurs are stuck using AI for basic content creation, while others are using it to revolutionize their entire business model. It's not about having access to better tools. It's about having a clearer understanding of where AI can create genuine competitive advantages. The 3 strategies I've shared with you today all have one thing in common. They use AI to make better decisions faster and at scale. Whether it's predicting which prospects are most likely to buy, automating complex business processes, or personalizing sales experiences, the common thread is using artificial intelligence to amplify human judgment and decision-making. This is where the real power of AI lies. It's not in replacing human creativity, but in enhancing human intelligence. It's not in automating everything, but in automating the right things. It's not in making your business more robotic, but in making your business more responsive to what your customers actually want and need. Here's what I want you to understand about implementing these strategies. They're not as technically complex as they might sound, but they do require a more sophisticated approach than most entrepreneurs are taking with AI. You can't just sign up for a tool and expect immediate results. You need to invest time in understanding your business processes, identifying the right data to collect, and training the AI systems to recognize the patterns that matter for your specific situation. But here's the exciting part. Once you get these systems working, they compound over time. AI gets smarter as it processes more data. Your customer insights become more accurate. Your automation becomes more sophisticated. Your personalization becomes more effective. While your competitors are still manually managing the same processes they were using 5 years ago, you'll have intelligent systems that are continuously learning and improving. While they're treating every prospect the same way, you'll be delivering personalized experiences that feel almost magical to your customers. This isn't about replacing the human elements of your business. It's about freeing yourself from repetitive tasks so you can focus on the strategic, creative, and relationship-building activities that only humans can do well. So how do you get started? The key is to pick one of these 3 strategies and implement it properly, rather than trying to do everything at once. If you're struggling to understand which of your prospects are most likely to buy, start with AI-powered customer segmentation. If you're spending too much time on repetitive administrative tasks, focus on intelligent workflow automation. If you're treating all your prospects the same way and seeing mediocre conversion rates, begin with micro-personalization. Choose the strategy that addresses your biggest current bottleneck and commit to implementing it thoroughly. Don't just set it up and forget about it. Plan to spend several weeks optimizing and refining the system until it's producing consistent results. Remember, the goal isn't to use AI for the sake of using AI. The goal is to use AI to solve real business problems and create genuine competitive advantages. Every implementation should be measured by its impact on revenue, profitability, or efficiency, not by how impressive the technology seems. Here's what excites me most about these strategies. They're available to any entrepreneur who's willing to think strategically about AI implementation. But most businesses won't invest the time and effort required to execute them properly. This creates a massive opportunity for entrepreneurs who are willing to go beyond the obvious applications and really leverage what AI can do. While everyone else is using artificial intelligence like a fancy word processor, you can be using it like a growth engine that continuously optimizes your business operations. The businesses that implement these strategies effectively don't just see incremental improvements. They experience fundamental transformations in their ability to understand customers, operate efficiently, and scale profitably. With these strategies, AI becomes your growth partner, not just a toy. It becomes the invisible force that's constantly working to identify opportunities, optimize processes, and personalize experiences for your customers. It becomes the competitive advantage that allows you to deliver better results with less effort, while your competitors are still trying to figure out what AI is actually good for. I can make you this promise. If you implement even one of these strategies properly, it will change how you think about what's possible in your business. You'll start seeing opportunities for AI applications that you've never noticed before. You'll begin to understand how artificial intelligence can amplify your business intelligence in ways that create genuine, sustainable competitive advantages. More importantly, you'll join the small group of entrepreneurs who understand that AI's real value isn't in automating human creativity, but in enhancing human decision-making. You'll be using artificial intelligence the way it was meant to be used, as a tool that makes you smarter, faster, and more effective at growing your business. The entrepreneurs who master these advanced AI strategies won't just be more successful, they'll be operating in a completely different league from their competitors. They'll have insights that others can't access, capabilities that others can't match, and growth rates that others can't explain. The question isn't whether AI will transform how business is done. That transformation is already happening. The question is whether you'll be one of the entrepreneurs who leads this transformation, or one who gets left behind wondering what happened. I know which side I want you to be on, and now you have the knowledge to get there. Save this video. You're going to want to test these strategies this week. Pick the one that addresses your biggest current challenge, commit to implementing it properly, and prepare to be amazed by what's possible when you use AI as a genuine business growth tool rather than just an expensive content creation assistant. If this video has opened your eyes to what AI can really do for your business, hit that like button to help other entrepreneurs discover these strategies. And if you want more advanced business growth tactics that go beyond the obvious advice everyone else is sharing, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. I publish new videos every week that are designed to give you the strategic advantages your competitors don't know about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.